Hello YouTube, I'm Lindsay. I am no Michelin star chef. I do know a little thing about cooking. I was in a culinary academy for 4 years at my high school and I just love to cook. So one thing that I've realized with being a new mom is having to have time to like cook meals and eat and let it be like nourishing to our bodies. I wanted to do a video that showed 2 really easy recipes, which is my breakfast sandwich and potatoes, which is so freaking good. And then I made a minestrone soup, which is vegetarian, but that's not complicated, but it's a little bit more on like the, I would say more time consuming side, but it makes a lot of soup that you can freeze and you can eat it for a couple days. And then I make this easy cilantro lime chicken, which is delicious and it's easy. And I promise you, you're gonna wanna make it all the time. I came up with the cilantro lime chicken. I'm sure there's like so many different recipes. I love this, and you don't need that many ingredients. The minestrone, you need a couple ingredients. And then the breakfast sandwich, you need like 4 freaking ingredients. So I'm going to start off with the breakfast sandwich. Then I'm gonna show you my soup, and then dinner is the cilantro lime chicken with rice. I'm gonna do it with some sauteed spinach. So keep watching. What I'm first gonna do is turn my oven on to 390. I know it's such like a weird number, 390. You can make the sandwich without the potatoes or frozen potatoes. I just bought potatoes and I want to use them, so I'm making my own potatoes. And I'm gonna start that first because that's gonna take the most amount of time. So yeah. There's my potatoes. So I added like a herb and garlic seasoning salt and then some crushed red pepper, and then I added some onions. So I'm gonna cook this for about 30 minutes. So halfway through I took my potatoes out, and then I also removed the onions because they're getting a little crispy. You look and see the way you like your potatoes done and your onions done. I like mine a little bit more like, not burnt, but crispy, especially with these red potatoes. They get so crispy and then the insides are so soft. It's like so good. I'm gonna put the potatoes in for another like 5 minutes. While my potatoes are finishing up in the oven, I'm gonna make this bomb breakfast sandwich. So this is what you will need. We have an egg, some cheddar cheese, plant-based breakfast patties, but you can use regular sausage, bacon, turkey bacon, ham. That's what I love about cooking, is that you can just literally do whatever you want. And then I have these English muffins. These are Dave's Killer Bread. So good. And then I top it with some chili garlic paste, but that's optional. And only 4 ingredients. These patties are on the smaller side. I keep mine frozen, but if you keep them in the fridge, they're actually soft. And if you take 2 patties, you can shape them into a bigger one. But I have like egg, cheese, and bread, so I leave them that side. I've also tried making this like sandwich without putting any butter on my bun, and it was really dry. So I'm putting butter on my McMuffin, on my English muffin, and toasting it. I'm gonna make the patty first so that all the flavor from the sausage is going to go into my egg, because I'm using the same pan. So you get all that crispy bits. You'll see. My heat is also on medium. My egg is finishing up, and I put some cheddar cheese on my English muffin, and that's in the broiler to melt. All right, now I'm gonna plate it up. Look at that. That's the chili garlic paste, some yellow kiwis, which are freaking delicious, my potatoes with some baked onions. Yum. So I found this really good recipe for a minestrone soup. I think it's great hearty soup, and I think there's a lot of flavor in it. I've never made a minestrone soup, but this recipe looks really good. So I'm gonna make it first time on camera, and I'm looking for recipes that are delicious yet healthy and filling, because there's nothing like eating healthy and then hungry every 5 minutes. This is packed with beans and pasta and veggies, and it's winter time, and it just seems like a great idea for a soup. Also, I bought a bunch of vegetables from the grocery store, so I wanna make sure I'm incorporating and using everything that I have. Okay, this is what you will need. I'm gonna put the recipe in the description box too if you think it looks good. 4 cloves of garlic. My garlic was like really small, so I put 5. 2 carrots, 2 ribs of celery. The recipe calls for seasonal vegetables, squash, zucchini, snap peas, green beans, but I did not have that. I had potatoes, so that's fine. 1 medium onion. This is kind of big, but I love onion, so I don't care. Kale or spinach, and I chose kale. And then for our seasonings, you need 2 bay leaves, basil leaves. You can put fresh basil leaves. They didn't have any, so I'm doing dried basil. Thyme and oregano. I don't have that. This seasoning has thyme and oregano in it, so I'm just gonna use that. crushed red pepper, fresh ground pepper, pink Himalayan salt, and then your can, you're gonna need 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes. You're going to need a 1/4 cup of tomato paste and 1 can of Great Northern beans that have been drained. Your pasta, it's a 1/2 cup of pasta. Honestly, I just boil my noodles in a separate container and I keep them separate because I don't like when my pasta gets soft. And I feel like when I have my noodles in the soup the next day, it's a lot less liquid and I like my soup liquidy, so I just keep my noodles separate. Boil how much pasta you would like. And then 4 cups of chicken broth, which is this whole thing. You're gonna need 4 tablespoons of olive oil, but it's gonna be divided, and some lemon juice. Oh my god, please make this soup. It is dinner time. The cilantro lime chicken is cooking. Now I'm gonna make some jasmine rice. Instead of it being plain rice, I'm gonna add some garlic and some chicken broth and make it a little bit tastier, I guess. But first, I always toast my rice. I get a nice hot pan with a little bit of olive oil and I cook my rice so you can kind of like smell it, they say. I like it when it has like a nice little color to it. It just adds like a nutty flavor to your rice and I think it tastes better. This is my little rice measurer. I use like half for my rice and then I do 2 halves of water. My garlic, olive oil, and I'm gonna dump my rice. Okay, I added my tomatoes and then now I'm gonna add a little bit of this bouillon cube with some water. And then I'm gonna add some of that to that. Okay, so I added a bunch of fresh cilantro and that is it. It looks like not good, but it's good.